You yelling for him in the other room?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. We're good to go, Jer?
It's recording.
Thank you. Okay, welcome everyone. Happy New Year. Today is January 9th, 2024. This is the first meeting of the Economic Development Committee for the year 2024. My name is Veronica Castro. I'm the chair.
I'm Luciano. I'm a board member.
Mariel Hawken, board member.
Bernadette Ferrara, chair and member.
I'm a great member.
Duane Jones.
Okay.
I'm your regular member.
Thank you everyone for joining. We have 4 licenses to go over today, 2 liquor license renewals and 2 cannabis license applications. So do we have anyone here from Lynn's Asian Cuisine? I don't think so.
And we're online, no.
So Chris, have we, for any of the applicants for the liquor license, has the 4-9 reported any issue?
Nothing. All renewals, they're clear.
Okay.
I was informed Misto got their license already. What it's worth.
Who got their license already?
Misto?
Oh,
First
they're
one, I
not on
think.
the list. Yeah,
That's the restaurant that asked for that waiver,
Yeah,
the one that
Okay.
is located in East Chester Road, 2400.
but since they got their license already, I don't think you have to worry about it.
okay. And you gentlemen are from,
2011 Williamsburg Road.
okay, thank you. Just have a seat and when we get to your application.
Sure.
Thank you.
Wait, Ian can.
Okay.
Sure.
So from the committee, does anybody know of any issues with Lynn's Asian Cuisine at 1506 Bronxdale Avenue?
It's a pretty small store. Like, I don't even think they have dine-in anymore.
Yeah, it's a
like
very
entirely
small
takeout.
footprint, yeah. I haven't seen anything. I've gone by there a couple of times. It's been pretty quiet the times I've gone by there. I never purchased food from there, but I have gone by to check out the area. Okay. So if no one has any issues with that, we'll move on.
Okay, very good.
Move
Thank
on to Liberty Diner,
you.
located at 2059 Williams Beach Road. Anybody have any issues or know of any issues for that place?
Never.
But
I do frequent that location. I do
Me too.
eat there, so they are really respectful. They're usually very quiet. Okay. If we have no issues, we'll move on to the cannabis licenses. Just so everybody knows, if anybody's new, we do the motions after we've had a chance to hear from the gallery in case there's any issues or any information that the gallery would like to provide to us. So we're moving on to Purple Cake.
Oh. Lynn's Asian cuisine, okay. I go there also.
So Ms. Espinal, can you come sit over here with us so we can speak?
I'm a sushi.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You need one?
How are you? Thanks for coming today. So for your establishment, see here, it says you're looking to open a retail dispensary on the premises, nothing else, no micro business, nothing like that?
No.
Okay, do you have any other smoke shops or any other businesses that you own?
Yes, but I'm not related to that. I own supermarkets.
Okay, and they don't sell any kind of any kind of
No,
cannabis okay. Where do you own those properties, if you don't mind us asking?
Bronx.
In the Bronx, in this community?
No. By Yankee Stadium, 168 on 161,
Okay,
and Van Court in Kingsbridge.
okay. And what made you, it says here, I think you're from upstate?
I live there.
Yeah.
I do business over in the Bronx.
Okay. And what made you want to open up a cannabis location in this area?
I'm new in the business, so we're exploring to, not such a bad area. We're trying to do business, as normal, licenses and serving a community that we want to be in this area.
Okay. Anybody from the committee have any questions they want to?
Did you file your application already?
Yes.
And is it approved?
It's about to.
How do you know it's about to?
Everything's approved. We submit everything is in there, so.
What is everything?
The application is done. Engagement fee is done. We're just waiting on the new license that I'm gonna get out.
And when you say we, what do you mean? You and who else?
This is only me,
Only you.
but it's only all the friends that they issue the license to. That's
You have other,
Yeah, but not everybody separate, so.
everyone files separate? And do they all, like, apart from you, does anyone else have an interest in this particular location? It's just you.
Yes.
Why that specific area? That area is mixed. It is a residential, commercial area, but why that specific area?
I mean, it's hard to find a location, is one. I find that location, I gotta list from the place, and not every location is good for cannabis, so, or they can be approved for cannabis, so with the challenges and that location, it could be done.
And you say you got a lease, have you signed the lease already? When did you sign the lease?
Back in November.
Okay, because recently I think you told our district manager that you hadn't signed a release.
I mean, you need to have a lease to go in the whole process to be approved.
Right, but not everybody has a signed lease
Oh,
come
yeah,
before us.
yes.
So that's why I'm asking if you signed a
Some
lease.
people, they just go out and throw the application, we have a lease, but
Okay,
that's not mine.
but you say you signed it in November?
Yeah.
So I see, maybe I'm wrong, but it wasn't updated yet. But when I look at that property, it has, I think that's a house next to it. That's the residential area. And I think that place was serving as like a rapid COVID testing site. Like, how are you looking to, set up the shop there?
Everything is gonna be set up as a normal. It's a group. I'm part of the Hispanic Cannabis Association, so everything is gonna be set up with security. The whole store is gonna be secure, like where you're gonna keep whatever you're selling. It's gonna be walls. It's gonna be safe, and while the business is open, it's always gonna be security there to checking ID and all that stuff. But it's a whole process.
Are you guys gonna be hiring on security or you be licensing it out?
Hiding.
Can I ask you one more question? Is the board requiring you to come, like the cannabis board, are they requiring you to get approval from the as part of that process, or?
I mean, I came because I was invited. I want to come and see you guys.
No, my
face to
question-
face.
My question is the board, right? Are they requiring you to come here first? And then once you get the approval from us, that's part of your application? Or,
OCM,
No, I mean, it's good if I'm okay with you guys and you're okay with it, but the application is already.
okay, so you could do this, okay, so, because we have some questions about that, whether like they first approve you and then you come to us, or like you could do it simultaneously. I guess you're saying that you could do it at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay.
okay, any other questions? No? Joanne, do you have any questions? You're on
You're
mute.
muted.
No, I was just wondering actually about the zoning. I think Phyllis just pointed out that in the chat that that's R5 zoning, that particular area. So I'm not sure about that. So if anyone can enlighten me on that.
It's a 4A zoning.
It's a 4A zoning?
Yeah, so it
4A.
it could do either residential or commercial.
Oh, I see. Okay, thanks.
I was gonna say, because like there are,
I'm gonna confirm right now what it is on Zola.
okay,
But let me ask you something else. The OCM has to approve the location, right?
Mhm.
So they'll figure out whether you can open up a business there or not, right? They'll do that part, right? So as much as we're curious, we don't really have to worry about that because OCM presumably will police that, right? So as long as OCM says it's okay, then that's okay. Is that what you understand?
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, I just wanna do, regular business. I've been business for 30 years and I operate a full license business and I guess helping the community whatever we can. I don't work with the community in all my places that I own business. So, I'm open to open my business, do business as usual, and anything that I can help the community with employment, like, people local, all that stuff, you know.
and one of the things that the OTM, I believe in the application, guys, correct me if I'm wrong, they ask about, community involvement. Do you have plans on what you can do to help out the community?
So, like I say, I've been doing this for
Oh,
years and the firm, so I'm always involved in whatever we can help with wisdom.
You say you were part of an association. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yes, it's a group of Hispanic people that we jump into the license and see the opportunity there. A group of us that has an association to the license for cannabis.
And what's the name of the association?
LCA. LCA, I can say, all the information about it. LCA.
You mentioned the name before. Do you remember it?
So,
You said something about Hispanics
Hispanic Association.
for cannabis?
Yes.
Sorry,
Are you talking about the Latino Cannabis Association?
Latino cannabis.
Yes.
Okay.
just so you know, Mr. Espinal, Purdom and Ed are both part of our committee.
Hi, nice meeting you.
That's why they're asking,
Right.
but they're joining in.
I have a question. If they haven't approved you yet, right, and you have a lease, because there are another license coming in that area, and the rule is that they can't be 1,000 feet by each other, because they're trying to prevent oversaturation.
Mhm.
So I'm not too sure, like, do you have the lease already?
Yes.
But did they give you an official approval?
Yes.
Are you able to give us the official approval?
Yes.
Excuse me, did you apply for a recreational license?
Yeah, that's what it is. Recreation.
We're talking about Purple Cake, and I'm sorry for
Yes.
being late, but we are talking about Purple Cake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct.
So were we in the middle of the interrogation?
We are, yeah, we're in the middle.
Towards
Towards the tail end of the. interrogation.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, one of my job sites, a crane snapped today, and a gentleman was pinned under it, today, so I'm a little late because of
You
it, but he
okay?
survived, yes. We have 5 injuries, on the job site, but, everybody survived, so
Thank God.
we're okay. So again, I apologize for the tardiness, but I do have some questions that I prepared for you. If everybody's done, I would like to go ahead. Okay, so my questions, basically, they're just around compliance and regulations, business operations and management, community engagement, security measures, marketing, advertising, things like that. So, it's a few questions on each one, so I just want to ask you. So can you describe how you currently manage compliance with state and local cannabis regulations? I know you're not open yet, but when you do open, how do you plan on managing those, your compliance?
I mean, I was playing before. Everything is through security. We need to have 24 while the store is open, security all the time, checking IDs. The products that we sell it gotta be secure, partition. So it will cost around $600,000 just to secure the store.
Okay.
We cameras, security, and how you're gonna keep, especially the products that you're gonna sell.
Okay, so it sounds like you've put some pen to paper on what it's gonna cost to keep it secure and keep it out of kids' hands and things like that. But in regards to your business operations and management, I know that you've been asked a ton of questions before I even came in here. So let me just shift gears. What are your biggest operational challenges that you feel like you may face when running your dispensary?
As a business owner, I think it's a risk. I'm gonna invest on it and see, how it's gonna come out. We're hoping that it's gonna do good. But it's like, let's say, opening a liquor store. You open, you do sales, you do promotion, and hope that you succeed.
I'm glad you brought up liquor stores because my next thing was security measures. What kind of security measures will you implement at the dispensary? Are you gonna have like somebody there
At all times.
at all times? Okay.
We're gonna need probably 6 employees per let's say per turn, like morning and afternoon.
Okay. You mentioned marketing, and obviously, with the large investment that you have in your business, what kind of marketing strategies are you using? And how do you ensure they comply with cannabis advertising regulations, like keeping them away from minors?
That's gotta go through the whole association. How we're gonna manage? It's gotta be secure. Make sure that we don't sell to minors. And
So the association is helping you
yes,
with the marketing initiatives?
Correct.
Oh, that's beautiful. So like when it comes to staying informed about research and information, they're the ones that are gonna be
Correct.
able to support you. I'm sorry, your hand, I'm trying to make eye contact with it. And then when it comes to like financial and legal support, I mean, 600,000 is a lot of money. When it comes to your true parties of interest disclosure, have you filed the one with the state yet?
yes.
Yes? Okay, who's on there?
On what?
On the two true parties of interest disclosure?
Just me. My
Just
company.
yourself?
Yes.
Okay. Has anybody asked him any questions about local hiring?
You did mention that you were.
Okay. All right, that's it. Thank you. Those were the questions.
Thank you.
I have one more question. What made you decide to go from the food business from a store to go into the cannabis business? It's a different, riskier kind of business.
I'm tired.
You're tired of the food business?
I've been working for 30 years since I was a kid. So I'm looking something more like I don't have to be so involved and a lot of employees and all. I mean, my son is into the food business too, so he gonna stay in the food business.
Okay. Would you be on premises often as it's running or?
Yes, I will be involved. The same way the association and everything, we have a plan to hire people locally, and everything gotta go through who we hiring, background check and all the stuff.
You mentioned the association again. They're just helping you to build it up and to get it started. They don't have any kind of financial.
Financial, they don't get involved with that. They're gonna have some banks that are gonna come on board, and most
Your name is
Remember.
the only one that's on
yes,
the lease and it's your company. They're just helping you.
yes.
So they have no kind of interested party other
No,
than that?
no.
Okay.
Yes, we just paying them to lawyer fees and the application fee and all the stuff they handle and all that for us.
Okay.
Well,
There's no-
same of doing
It's almost like
business.
they do.
Yeah,
It's a merchant association. I mean, they're one of the few groups that's actually fighting the good fight. Obviously, there's dues and things that are paid. But there's a number of organizations that I've done research on, and they're one of them that are preparing retailers to be responsible retailers. So when they come to the license hearings or interrogations like this, they're ready for it.
I wouldn't like to think of it as interrogation.
Yeah,
It kind of scares people off. So let's
No, I
not-
know, I
Let's
know.
not call it interrogation.
I just, again, historically, this committee has operated as an interrogation room, and I just want to make sure that we're offering business owners more than just questions, but resources and helping them so that they don't have to pay dues to associations like this, so they could rely on the board as a resource, not
I'm
just.
happy to start doing some kind of
red tape.
workshops and stuff
Right.
for
So
retailers, but
LCA
We can
does
talk
have
about
a
it later.
website, right?
Yes,
They do?
yes.
Sounds, I keep looking for it.
So, Veronica, this is Joanne. Okay, looking at the chat, and Diana pointed out something. She did. I was doing research, or she was faster than I. It says here that that particular building. I know this is a row of private homes that they use mostly for doctors' offices, and it's currently zoned for R5D and C1-4, which is mixed commercial and residential, with commercial allowed on the first floor. So that means that it can only be used on the first floor. Could that be a problem?
I don't,
I don't think
this
so.
property is
Yeah,
only one floor.
yeah,
Okay,
that's the one property.
okay,
Yeah.
that's fine. Just checking.
The other thing is that OCM presumably would be checking into all of this. So they would determine whether they're operating from a proper place, right? Whether their investors are checked, there's background checks and all these things. It would be easier, much easier for us if they had an approved license and they came to us, because then we have that assurance. But honestly, we have no way of checking these things, right? You know.
Right, so that's why
just
we
have to take
check.
The applicants at their word
Mhm.
and then hope that OCM does their job.
Hope
That's
that
it.
OCM does it.
I mean,
I mean, I, by the way, I'm a lot of positives from your end. You've been doing business for 30 years. It seems like it's a business. Your son's gonna be involved in it. You know, you seem like a very serious person. And, you know, the process is the process. You come here, you do that, you're trying to get your license as quickly as we can. I'm saying, in a way, this committee, our hands are sort of tied, right? We have to sort of go by impressions because we really don't have any data. And we don't have, you know, we don't have the ability to to confirm any of the data that is being provided by you or any of the applicants. So, you know, we sort of have to go by impressions. And I mean, for me, you made a great impression, right? But that's the reality of the process. So for us to question whether your lease is good or not, you know, whether the place that you're leasing from is zoned for your business, we could question you about it, but at the end of the day,
I mean,
we don't have any
we did some
information.
diligence about all those other regulations that be there before you get, before you apply.
I assume
You're
that.
not close to a school, you're not close to a church, you're not close to this, you're not close to another store. So that stuff is being done, but I'm happy to share with you guys whatever came through emails and any information that you need from me. I'm happy to.
Thank you.
I'm just gonna ask a question with regards to what was asked in the chat. Well, you said you'll be hiring locally. Will you also be helping out and hiring veterans?
That's doable. That's doable.
Because that's something that,
Sorry, not you. No, I was reading the comments.
Oh,
okay. Because that's something that has been said with regards to the helping out locally and also with the veterans. So
Yeah.
Yes. Someone wanted to know about an Emmy
Emmy
Serrano.
Serrano.
What is her role in your company? Because we've seen that name so many times. Is she a member of the Latino Cannabis Association that is helping you guys out with like legal issues, or is she, you know, somebody? Because when it comes to the corporate filings, Emmy Serrano shows up on a lot of cannabis filings.
Someone says that she's listed
Three
CEO
licenses where
of
they-
Purple Case. Does she have anything to do with your business?
Probably similar to
Why
the
would she be
SLA
listed?
licenses that have similar
Gotta
laws.
be, I don't know,
If the person's listed.
this is my company.
Do you know an Emmy Serrano?
No.
So let me ask you, who did the filing for the license? Did you do it personally, or did you have somebody from the association do it for you? Somebody from the association? All right, so then now we need somebody from the association to tell us who Emmy Serrano is and why is she filling out all the application and putting herself as the titles that she's putting herself on there. Because what's happening is that we're doing our own research and Emmy Serrano is coming up on multiple licenses
Mhm.
and it's not a good look for you guys, man.
Okay, so
Unless she's the registered agent, but
Did you sign the lease as yourself or as an LLC?
LC.
LLC. What's the name of the LLC? Purple Cake
Purple
LLC.
Pear.
Do you have a board attached to the LLC?
Yeah, I have all my paperwork.
Like, do you have a board attached to the LLC?
No.
Like, so like you're supposed to have like, usually you have a board.
It's so owner.
So owner. Okay.
So he's the, so the LLCs have members?
Right,
He's
yeah.
saying he is the sole member. of
Yeah,
the-
I mean, the
I know.
the LLC is only a group of us trying, to move things and do things right. But everybody's gonna apply
That's what I mean.
as a sole.
LCA,
Right.
what he's saying is LCA is a group of individuals that form this association. But the LLC, Purple Cake, is
Just
yours.
you.
That's correct.
You're the only member.
That's correct.
Okay.
What's the name of the person again?
Emmy
if you turn around, you can see how it's spelled right there.
In the chat.
MMIESERRANO.
The registered agents.
If it's a well, yeah, it's a CEO.
You see, that's the problem, man.
It's weird.
And it's not like it's the only application that we've seen that name on. We've seen it on multiple ones and not as a registered agent. We've seen it
Most
as
of them, I believe, most of the ones that have come.
the
through,
last
they
3 or 4 that we've had.
That's interesting.
All right, but still your position
yeah,
is that
again.
you're not, is that you are the sole member of the LLC. Emmy Serrano is not.
I will find out who's Emmy Serrano and I can let you guys know.
I mean, look,
If she's involved, we also.
Listen, it's just, we're here as an advisory role. We don't make, any particular decision with the state. But for your interest, for your benefit,
Mhm.
you should find out who that is and why their title is CEO.
Is that name popping on the website? On the website?
I think Edgar found it.
Where do you find it?
Just Google Purple Cake LLC, New York City.
Mhm.
And then this is a website that shows up for a New York City
Mhm.
company.
Can I take a picture of that? Because that is my information.
And you said that you had a website created, right? Right?
I think he said LCA has a website.
LCS website, so not him.
So no, not me.
I didn't ask him about him. Having that website.
I don't have one yet.
Would you, and you don't have to, but would you be willing to supply us with a copy of the lease?
If you want to list it.
You could send it to the board office, for us to take a look at.
Dana's at least this website.
Question for the committee. We have a couple of people that might have questions for this particular applicant. Do you want them to be able to speak now, or do you want them to hold to the gallery? I'm leaving it up to the committee.
It's okay.
Speak now.
Yeah, that's fine.
Like to speak now.
Okay, so first up,
That's an expediter, just to let you know who it is.
It's an expert.
Expediter, okay.
Yeah.
Emmy Serrano?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That's why you see it on so many different applications, number one. Number two, I called in the beginning of December. Now, there are two locations, it's two buildings. It was just redone. And when I called, they said they had no one, I called in December, no one is leasing the property. And when I said I wanted to put an adult cannabis dispensary there, the person said, we're not gonna have an adult cannabis dispensary or any kind of cannabis, store there. So that's my question to you. So you're sure you have a lease there?
Yeah. You call that same place?
Mhm.
Oh, okay, so. I don't
Do you
know
have the
how
lease
can-
When did you sign the lease?
Yeah, I have a lease.
I called in December. He said he signed it in November. Interesting.
Let me make sure that I'm talking, right, I have a lot of stuff sometimes in my head, but I can send you a copy of the lease, no problem. And like I say, a lot of people, they don't want to do it, or they can do it because bank issue, like property owners.
Mhm.
If they have a mortgage, sometimes they can at least for cannabis yet, I guess it's not state approved by banks.
So I believe they took out a mortgage to do, redo the place.
Okay.
And secondly, I believe that the city council is looking at that exact address for a city council office.
It's a couple of locations there, though. It's a couple of spots.
Yeah, I
that
know.
they have.
This is the exact address I was told.
Okay. Because they had I think 2 or 3 stores available there.
There's two sites, there's one next to each other. there's an elevator being put in, so is that the one you're going into?
Yes, for first floor.
That's the city council.
No, I think city council is gonna be looking in front of the building. On the left, I'm gonna be on the right.
You say you had a lease, right?
Mhm.
I was just
You
gonna
were looking for it.
Yeah, I got it, I sent it to you. I think you guys can.
Oh, you said it.
I got it. More.
Yeah, so the-
Give me a
Chris, the
email.
one who emailed you, inviting you to the meeting, please, you can respond back on that email with a copy of the lease if you don't mind.
I'm just curious, you signed a lease, what happens if you don't get the license?
I lose the money for the deposit.
So it wasn't approved yet.
His license,
The
no.
license
No,
itself.
the license, it's not.
Right, because right now there's an application.
He said that he submitted everything for the license. He's just waiting to hear back from OCM.
He could do it simultaneously.
Right.
We only have so far one person that came with an approved license.
Right.
Which makes things, in my mind, easier for us.
Right.
Mm.
Interesting. Okay.
Okay.
You know, I came because I was invited. If I wanna have my license, we gotta be better.
Yeah, no, we do appreciate you coming in because it does help us, you know, for you to be here to answer some questions for us. So thank you for taking the time to be here.
Thank you, guys.
The other thing is, it also introduces you to the community board, so if down the line you ever need anything, you know who to reach and you're familiar with the faces, et cetera, et cetera.
That's great. Thank you.
And thank you for answering our questions. We're not going to vote on it just yet. We're going to vote at it a little later on. You're welcome to stay and wait to hear what our motion is going to be. But also, we have a full board meeting right after this to vote on it for the full board. So if you want to stay for that too, you're more than welcome to.
I appreciate it.
So it's two-part. This committee votes on a motion to approve or not, and then that's presented to the board, and then they vote again.
Right. So our referral is to the full board as a committee, and then the full board's vote is the referral that we're going to be sending to the OCM. Okay. Great, thank you so much.
Thank you.
The weather is bad. I live kind of far from here, so
You gotta take
I'm not
off.
gonna wait
Understandable.
thank you for your help
You're
and
very
Nice to
welcome.
meet
Thank
you.
you so much.
hoping to keep seeing you guys in another meetings.
Yes,
You can come to any of our meetings anytime.
yes.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
And next up, we have AM Convenience Shop. Hi, can you guys join us at the table?
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Hey, Happy New Year.
Yeah, safe.
You too. So you're here as representatives for AM Convenience Shop, which is located at 2011 Williamsbridge Road. And can you introduce yourselves?
I'm Mohammed. I'm president of the corporation,
Okay.
and this is my brother.
I belong to the brother.
Okay, are you also part of?
I'm gonna help them to run the business.
Okay, but the business is solely under your name?
Yes.
Okay. I see, are you part of the store that's there now?
Yes, it's an
And-
existing business.
What do you do in that store? Like, what do you
It's
sell in that
a
store?
convenience store, small shop. So I have a license for electronic vapes and also cigars and cigarettes license.
Do you sell any kind of cannabis products out of there at this time?
They have oils like CBD oils, which is like you could sell them with the electronic cigarette active license.
CBD license.
And the CBD license came recently too.
So you have a CBD license
Yes.
to sell that, but you don't sell any other
the moment.
cannabis products there? Okay. Do you have any other businesses?
Yes, actually, we have 3 other businesses there. We have a deli on the corner on 2101 Williamsbridge Road, and a discount store at 2135 Williamsbridge Road.
Oh, so it's pretty much almost in the same area?
Yeah, and we have 2028, the cell phone store.
A cell phone store, so in the same field.
And we planning to open Mr. Ray, the one in the corner, called the 1027
Okay,
Motorsport, right? We is doing the construction, we're almost done. We're gonna be a mini market, we need fruit and vegetables.
okay, and none of those stores sell any kind of
No.
cannabis products?
No,
out?
absolutely.
Okay. How long have you guys been in business in the area?
6 years.
And
As
do you-
owners, I've been in the neighborhood since 2004.
Okay,
Down in 685 Morris Park and 1801 Williamsbridge Road.
okay.
So I've been here for a long time. They came later after.
Mhm. You were late.
Yeah.
He's the one who brought it.
The whole family. Yeah.
Well, good. It's good to know that you've been in the area for a long time. That's good. Is there any reason why you're looking, in particular, why you're looking to open up a cannabis store?
See, I've worked in the deli for like 10 hours a day, so a lot of customers were asking me personally, like, you know, they open a lot of smoke shops around. Why don't you open one? I was scared at the beginning. I didn't think about it. I thought it would be wrong. But I'm noticing that a lot of stores are open. I'm like, why don't I do it? Since people are asking me to do it.
Okay, and it's just gonna be recreational, or medicinal? Recreational, okay.
So, you know, Purple Cake is 1927, 2011. How far is that, like 1,000 feet?
1,000 feet, exactly 1,000 feet.
Was that like
Oh,
But there's a rule that you cannot,
1927?
Yeah.
Yeah,
this is 1927 William Ridge Road. And
It's across from
20
CVS since 1927.
Oh, that little tiny store?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's the two, the
Did you
two,
have you
like,
have a lease
locations
already?
together.
We've been there.
You've been there, but
We're
not,
just converting the business
This is
into a
important.
dispensary.
We're gonna convert it. If we get the license, definitely convert
Do
it.
you live around here? You said?
We have a house actually in 35
right.
and Colville. We own property over
It's
there.
not,
Yeah.
Wait, in what? Avenue?
And Colville Avenue, between,
the little.
Neil and Lady Avenue, yes, exactly.
Okay,
Second house.
so this is your community.
Yeah, so absolutely, I've been here for almost 15 years personally, then family came 2014.
But do you live there? Do you-
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
So
that's-
you
said
have a vested interest in making sure.
yeah, we're part of the community, literally.
Yeah,
like, I have my kids, my nieces, my nephews and the schools around, so we're literally part of the community,
Alright.
like property, business, everything. I know almost everybody, including the gentleman behind me.
Yeah, so to Perto's point, if it falls within the 1,000 feet, that's something that the OCM would determine which one they would allow to be,
yes.
to give the license to, basically,
Yeah.
within that
We gotta
1,000
make a
feet.
vote tonight, and like Malcolm was saying, it's 1,000 feet. We gotta think twice what we're gonna do here, because they're not gonna
Well,
open.
The only thing that we're required to do is just to say whether or not we would want them to be in our community or not. And then it's the OCM to make the decision of which one they would choose to be in the,
Right.
who would approve the application for that particular area.
OCM.
So, yeah, like
Yeah.
theoretically, we could say yes to both and then OCM, let's say.
OCM,
One-
oh, they're the one. who-
Yeah.
Yeah, they make the final determination.
So that business applied for the license, or they already got it, or?
They've applied, they've sent in all the information that they were required to send in according to the gentleman that was here.
With both properties there, or just a small store on Front Street?
Just the 19, what is it, 1927?
Yeah.
It looks like a garage, the bottom of the house, right across the street from the Italian deli, what it called.
It's GNR.
Yeah,
Like where the
right,
bank
right,
is?
yeah, exactly.
Oh, so it's not where the little smoke shop
No,
is?
I'll show you right now, where is it at?
I don't think the question's the smoke shop. The question is really that there's applications for 2 cannabis licenses that are within
Within-
1,000 feet.
Or just about 1,000 feet.
That's the image.
So like,
Oh, yeah, they're close.
Okay.
what are your modifications going to look like? Because usually cannabis stores, you know, they have the security, they have the doors, but you have to buzz in
Oh, we already have that already.
already.
We have
Yeah,
cameras.
please, cameras.
We're gonna add, of course.
And alarm too, but if we get the license, absolutely, I'll make a lot of differences. I'll
Yeah.
add a security person. I
Right.
would put 2 people outside, one as a security and the other one to help in both security and, like moving stuff.
Right. So pretty much
Supply.
you're going to shift the operation of the business from being the walk-in as it is now to just being straight ID.
Oh, yes. We've been doing this
I do
for a long
remember
time.
that for sure already.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's just gonna be straight cannabis dispensary. You won't have anything else in there. Because right now you have the food and you have all that stuff. All that'll be taken out, right? It's just gonna be straight.
It would be straight dispensary. It would be better because we cannot, it
I
would
was
be.
gonna say, it's hard to have
Yeah,
I don't even
yeah.
know if it's allowed to have a grocery and a dispensary in the same location, but
Grocery, I
Yeah.
think it is, as long as we don't have no food, they can. No hot food, no cooking wise.
Regardless, I wouldn't put anything else besides the dispensary if we get the license and the approval for it.
And what do you have outside, glass door like this, or? or you
it's
have-
glass.
It's glass?
Oh, it's black.
Yeah, outside you can actually see inside.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
have that kind of system.
Yeah, but we'll change that too. You
Is
know,
it, are you required to change? What are you
not
required to?
necessarily, but we're gonna make it look professional, you know, so even if kids pass by, they won't
That's
be
okay.
able to see, you know, to attract them or stuff like that. Would be, I would say I would put the, you know, the tent to make it invisible from the outside, so it would be better for people to walk in. And they cannot walk in unless they have their license with them. And even the timing too, it would be, I'll open a little later, like after 3-4 o'clock when school's closed, and things are calm. Till like 10-11 o'clock at night and then close the business. If people's license there.
Okay.
Oh, what is the hours of operation here?
Right now for that business,
When you're gonna have
8 to
the,
2 right now, the latest, 8 in the morning to 2 in the night.
For the smoke shop itself, but you're saying he would change the hours once, if they converted to dispensary, they would open after schools close.
yeah.
Like 3
Oh,
or
oh,
4
okay.
and stay
And
open
then
till
stay
11.
later in the evening.
11, 12, but in the weekend, I might stay until 1, 2,
1, 2.
depending. There's a lot of people come at that time for that type of business.
Hey, Joe.
Hey guys, how are you?
Why would you do that? Why would you open up later in the afternoon?
I mean, since it's a dispensary and it contains, why would it be late until?
Yeah, why would you open at 4 o'clock? Like,
Because of schools, because of what it has inside of it. So I think it's better to open late, because that type of business, I think, is better to work between the hours of 4 and 2 in the morning.
You mean when
They
kids
won't-
are out of school, not when they're in school?
No, I mean, teenagers.
Understand the hours that you're saying though. Like I'm just saying, think about what you're saying to this board.
Right. So prior to 4 o'clock, like during school times, kids pass by, kids go through, like, you know, at 4 o'clock, basically everybody's home right now. It's a little later after school time, so it wouldn't,
Yeah, but the kids are out now and they can
Yeah.
Well,
go
for
into
sure.
the
it
store.
wouldn't be the same, you
Well,
know,
especially during the summertime.
it wouldn't be the
I
same.
mean, I think what he's trying to say is that he'll limit the attraction of children walking by the business.
Exactly.
That's what I want to get.
But let's not forget that they were gonna have to show ID to get in.
Yeah,
Right,
that's
that's right.
There's gonna be a lot of people inside.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Just that, you know.
Okay. I have a question. Now, you guys have had a number of businesses. You have a business there now.
Yeah.
You're dealing with like the Department of Consumer and
Yeah,
Worker
definitely.
Protection
The past
violations,
20 years, yeah.
right? Like I know what it is. It's easier to open the business. It's hard to keep it.
Yeah.
Are there any ways in which the community board or local government could better support your business? The marijuana business.
What do you think? Can you repeat the question again? So
You see how it's hard to keep your business running because of the Department of Consumer and Worker Protection. You're gonna
Right.
have the same thing with OCM.
Right.
Eventually, maybe the Department of Consumer and Worker Protection is gonna also enforce signage, receipts, those types of things. The same thing that they hit you for in your stores now.
At the moment, right.
So my question to you is, are there any ways that you guys have just sat at home one day and thought to yourself, man, you know, before I go into that meeting, you know, is there any way that we can help you? Like what, you know, how can the board help you? Is it informational resources? Is it seminars? Is it, you know, community engagement? Like how can the board help you guys be a better neighbor in our community as a business?
I would say more engagement with business.
Okay.
Like I've been here for 20 years. I didn't know that this was the place, literally.
Exactly.
I had no idea. So I would say more engagement, approaching the businesses, introducing yourself to businesses. And if there's any occasion or any event taking place or any help that you need from businesses, you know, for the community, it would be better if you do more approaching towards businesses and business owners, 100%.
Thank you.
You're
Yes.
very welcome.
Thank you.
I have a few questions.
Sure.
You've run this business now for a long time. Has your shop ever been closed, your smoke shop?
This is the first smoke shop. I've always
Has it been closed during the time that
No.
it's been open? Have you had any infractions, you know, where like you have been impeded from conducting your smoke shop business?
like tickets and stuff like that.
Not a ticket, I mean,
No,
okay.
no problem.
So like sheriff's office, nothing like
No,
that?
we did,
No.
yes.
Oh, it's
Sure,
the
sure,
sheriff,
yeah.
they did come.
And why?
I
did-
was out in the country and there was a management, so they came,
That was, I think, last month, 2 months, 2 months,
2 months ago,
almost
I
2 months ago.
For what purpose?
like the vapes,
For
you're
the
supposed
vapes,
to have
cigars,
certain
And some
flavors.
marijuana we had there too.
certain flavors of the vapes you cannot have because New York City changed the laws, I think, starting
All
20.
cigars, they seized it
Yeah.
because we didn't have the license from the state, from the city. We have only license from the state because the city doesn't issue anymore. They stopped issuing in 2018, February 23rd.
Were you aware of that?
I was, but the flavors of the, which was the big ticket. For the vapes, we have a lot of vapes. Most of it is regular vapes, but it's flavored. You're not supposed to have it.
Receipt, everything they give as a
And
receipt
for
for that. We
each-
should even show you the receipt,
Yeah,
what they
for
see.
each
from the-
pack, you would get $1,000 ticket.
I think
There's
they
only
bring it
certain
down to
flavors
certain
that you're
things.
allowed to sell to.
So you were aware of the flavors, but you had flavors here that you weren't supposed to
I was
be
up.
selling to?
I wasn't here. Somebody else was running the business. I was aware, but not entirely, because a lot of things added up in the past. I would say even a couple of months, not just a year or two.
I have a follow-up question.
Things
Did
are
you
coming
dis-
up, new stuff.
Do you
new things.
disclose that information in your application to OCM? The information you just provided me.
Yeah.
Okay. And they're looking at that.
Yes.
Right. And right now it's in their hands, right?
Yeah.
So they'll take that into consideration one way or another.
Yeah.
I mean, you said the marijuana was a marijuana flavored
Not
vape.
the oil things.
The oil.
Yeah.
When you say marijuana,
Like
you're
vape.
talking about CBDs, right?
No,
Marijuana.
also the other.
THC extract.
As
Okay,
oil.
well, I asked earlier if you had ever sold anything but CBD out there, any kind of marijuana products, and you gentlemen said no.
Other businesses.
No, I asked about this business.
I misunderstood. I apologize. Yeah.
Okay, so you guys did sell marijuana products
Yeah,
out of
it's
that.
in the
smoke
same
shop.
business that we're applying for right now. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll see.
Bringing the rules.
Okay. So, one other question I had for you gentlemen, actually, it wasn't for you guys, I just wanted to bring, there's a, it's not a school, it's, an after-school program, I think, that tutors kids, but that doesn't fall under the purview of schools that the OCM. No, it's because it's not an actual school, it's just a center where they tutor kids in, so I don't believe that falls under the purview of an actual school.
You're talking about Huntington?
Is that it?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Second floor?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it is.
And there is PS 108 that's on Neil, I believe, but I think that is on the,
It's on the same block.
No,
Same strip?
no, it's not on the same strip. It's on Neil, but it's like a block or two
Yeah.
down Neil. So I don't think
It's
that
far.
falls within the 500 feet.
Just curious,
One block down?
Only one.
what would that business fall under? Is it childcare and family facility? Like, what do they?
Huntington?
It's a tutoring.
It's a tutoring center.
So I don't even think it would count.
SAT, math, whatever.
Yeah.
The one in Williamsbridge on the second floor. Yeah. It's about the deli and the pizza shop on Williamsbridge. On the corner. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's all the way down next to the bus stop.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring that to the committee's attention, to everybody's attention, that those are located in the area, just so everybody's aware. We did get, someone said, confirmed that there were 3 arrests from your location.
No one get arrested. Alan.
no arrest.
No one got arrested.
Get arrested. Yeah, the smoke shop.
Yeah, they did put us with the store here.
The one
That's
that-
why I'm trying to get the license now. A lot of
They're
smoke
the
shops
same
open,
pack.
one here, one there.
Even the
This
stuff.
guy got caught with 147 cartons of cigarettes. And
Which
they
he comes
added us to that too.
Yeah.
That's why
We
I,
got caught with tremendous amount of actual, weed, a bunch of other stuff. And they put both businesses as the same and the newspaper also on the.
that's why I mentioned to you that I could give you even the receipt that
Yeah.
they wrote down what they seized from our location completely, which is they gave us from the sheriff
I
department.
went
that
to
the same
court
day.
too for those tickets. I had to do some immediately, yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
Do we have any other questions from the committee?
I think Phyllis, oops.
Yeah, from the committee? No? Okay, I'm gonna give people the same, I don't even know what the word is, but I'm gonna let people from the gallery ask questions to this particular location like we did for the last one, okay? Phyllis, you have your hand raised?
So I remember when this place was raided by the sheriff. And yes, there were 3 arrests. And inside the location, they found THC edibles, cannabis flower, and pre-rolls. So what is the true story here? Because we got that exactly from Assemblymember Zaccaro.
There was
And it's
no
also
arrest
in
at
the
all.
Bronx Times.
I could even show you the videos and the sheriffs, and I know the sheriffs too. And, you know,
Was right.
nobody got arrested
Nobody got
at
arrested.
all.
I
No one
no.
got arrested.
So-
I mean, I was handcuffed when I came after because there was a guy that was running the business. You know, I had to be responsible for the business because I'm the owner of the business. I told him, this guy, you know, you could take him out. I'll take for responsibility for whatever is taking place in this business.
So they detained you on site? That was
Inside
it?
the business, yeah, they did
And then they
handcuff
let
me.
you
They were
go.
like, okay, we're gonna have to handcuff you, but no one will get arrested, literally from the head of the sheriff.
They
That's what I
detained
was
you.
told.
That's all they did on site, and then they
Yeah, and then
cuffed you.
15 minutes later, they uncuffed me
Right,
and
so
and
it's a
they gave
standard
me the
detention that they
summons
would've done to
and
anybody else.
everything when nobody got arrested.
And I can show you that.
From
up
this,
there right
that's what I'm saying. A lot of people got it mixed up with the corner store down here on the corner. of
The owner
Old-
get arrested date.
or the block after. He got
The secret
arrested.
he got, yeah.
We did not get arrested at all.
Yeah, the article says that no
I know
charges
that's-
were detailed.
What?
The article says that no criminal charges were detailed.
Yeah.
It was just
But-
a detention. They let him go.
Pretty much.
You mentioned the oil, the THC oil, but they also mentioned edibles, cannabis flower,
There
and
was- there
pre-rolls.
was
All that.
something- there was something there.
So my question, were these violations or fines that were paid because of what they found, or were they actual arrests? Isn't there a difference when
Yeah.
the sheriff?
The article says they had 4C summons and an estimated $181,000.
For both of they
Yeah, they mixed us up with that.
Because
Yeah.
the section I'm reading doesn't mention the 3 arrests. So that's, I think one arrest may have came from the other store. They probably detained them, but it's saying that your specific fines were the 4C summons and $181,000 in penalties. Is that correct?
You said
No,
that,
absolutely.
let's
That's the
back it up a
article-
little bit. You said
that's the
that
one
you
you
have
have,
receipts
exactly.
from what was seized, correct?
Yeah, exactly.
Would you be able to
I
provide?
could bring you
You also said that the tickets were dismissed, right?
Yes.
Would you be able to provide proof
The
that they were
summons,
dismissed?
not all
Because
the
that clears up.
tickets. Not all the tickets. Let me clear it up to you because I know more than him because I've dealt with a lawyer about it. The summons ticket in his personal name, those get dismissed completely. We still have to deal with the one with the consumer bid,
Okay.
which is
sorry,
fine
with
tickets that we
So
have
there
for
was
the
one
consumer bid.
against him specifically as an individual. and
What's
then
good
the
Since
consumer-
I got involved.
Which one are you still dealing with?
The one with the consumer bid. For the
Consumer
flavor, for the
affairs.
consumer. bid, yeah. And switches for the flavors, for the cigars and for the cigarettes.
And that's the heavy.
And those one we have to, they put it, they bring it down from, I think it was supposed to be around 80,000. They bring it down for us to 13,700 and they bring another one to almost 11,000 something.
That's against your electronic cigarette license.
Yes, electronic.
Yeah,
cigarette
the
license
flavors.
And the cigars too.
You gotta,
Right.
those
That's
are
the
the
cigars
flavors.
license.
Also, you have it against both licenses, your tobacco and your
Yes,
electronic?
exactly.
Okay.
So just going back to the cannabis. Those tickets that were related to the cannabis were dismissed?
Yeah, those the one was
Yes,
under
in
his
my
name.
personal exam. All of them.
So would you be, yeah, if you could find copies of proof of
Absolutely.
dismissal and then the receipts for
Of
what was
course.
seized, that will clear up the
100%.
questions of what was seized and what was in their business and what was in the other business that they're saying. that-
Yeah, I might have one in here for the things.
Veronica.
Was seized exactly.
Yes, Chris.
I suggest you table this one. I put it in for extension. Let me talk to Sheriff's Department, we'll get in contact with them and Zakara's office, and let's see what they're gonna say.
So
Here's,
if we got the extension, what date would it be for?
here's the
Uh,
receipt.
If we got the expansion, I gotta look when I stamped at this one.
Exactly. You want me to email it to you? I can spell it.
So-
There's 3 receipts.
Okay, guys,
See
hold on
this
one second, hold on. So right now, just the application is stamped, the questionnaire is stamped January 4th, so 30 days would be February 4th.
Correct.
So if we got the 30-day extension,
We don't need it.
it's a leap year, so.
Oh,
Yes, 29.
The 24?
Don't we have the
Oh,
forward too?
Oh, shit.
So when that is stamped,
It's stamped January 4th.
so January
It says
4th,
2023, but it's 2024.
yeah, I know, I stamped it on the back. It was stamped by Jeremy by mistake, but anyway, on the back, you can see that I stamped the 24. So if we received it on January 4th, 30 days, normal 30 days is until February 4th. So
Right.
another 30 days on top of that. That's the extension.
Oh,
For March then.
so March, okay.
So it goes into March.
So wait, what is, we're asking for an extension for purposes of,
You're gonna check the sheriff.
We're automatically.
We got an
doing
extension.
request for Extensions as soon as we get in these
Oh, that's-
applications for things just like this. So we've already sent out the request for extension for this location. Chris, did we get the approval back yet or no?
Not yet.
We probably won't get it.
It takes a little bit because they have to go through, that's why.
Yeah. Okay, so then we can table this until February, because we're gonna need to see some information from you guys, if you don't mind sending it to us.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
You know,
yeah.
because now it kind of brought up more questions for us, so we just want to make sure that we understand what happened and where you're at, particularly now in that particular process.
Okay.
So if you could send that to us, that, this doesn't mean that we're voting in any way, shape or form right now.
Okay.
We're gonna wait to get the information so that we can make, a decision based on all the information that we have.
Information from the sheriff department?
Right, from the sheriff's part, just so
Gotta
we can.
contact them directly or?
Chris, are
Chris,
you
you-
gonna contact them directly, or do you want them to send in the information?
They can send whatever you want. Officially, I have to contact the sheriff's department and the assemblyman.
Okay.
Okay.
You can also submit any, like,
Yeah.
no, even if it's duplicative, you can still send whatever you want to send in as well.
Okay.
So we're gonna
I can
reach out to
provide
them
you
and-
with all the information as soon as today or tomorrow.
Yeah, go
That's
ahead and
fine.
send us everything and
So-
we'll, yeah, even
Yeah.
if it's duplicative. it's-
Email it to you guys or bring
The
it.
email that you received, you should have received an email from Chris Kirker inviting you to this meeting. Reply back on that email with the information that you want to provide us, and then he'll get it to us.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you so much.
I have one question though.
Oh, we have a question.
Sigrid tax box, tax stamp?
The one we get, the ticket for?
Yeah.
That's what is untaxed cigarette.
That's
That's
what-
why we
okay,
get
thank you so
corporate
much.
as well.
Five
Okay.
buttons, how
It
many?
was like around 7
Right.
buttons.
Seven.
I want to figure white cigarettes, but you clarified. Thank you so much.
Does anybody else have any questions for our guest?
Well, thank you for the transparency. That's a good thing.
No, yeah. That's right.
Well,
Very good.
thank you again.
Thanks a lot, guys.
We appreciate you coming in. When you send us the information, we'll send out another invite for you guys to come in in case you have
Anytime.
any questions. So we do appreciate, again,
Thank you. I
to
appreciate
reiterate what Ms. Delgado said, thank you for your transparency. We really do appreciate
Thank you, guys.
it.
We appreciate you too.
Thank you.
it. Blessed night.
Thank you too.
Have a good night, guys. Thank you.
Good night.
Too. Happy New Year.
Okay. So now that was the last applicant. So we're tabling this one until the February meeting. Hold on.
So the February full board, right? No, the February meeting.
Yeah, it's gonna be tabled for the February Economic Development meeting.
Can we also like preemptively do sheriff's check for all applicants? Cause then that will give us some information coming into the meeting.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably a really good idea. The only thing is I'm not sure, some of these places that the businesses they're under aren't they're new businesses, they're not located.
But even if we
businesses,
get
but can try.
nothing, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
if we get, oh, there was no hit, we don't have any information, that's fine. At least we know they haven't had any contact with the sheriff's
yeah,
department.
we can start doing that prior to the meeting, so that way we can have the information. I'll speak with Chris about.
When
that
it
process.
comes to the sheriff, you gotta understand, it's certain jurisdictions the sheriff has compared to NYPD. So.
I get it.
The sheriff has jurisdiction over this taxation, stamps for cigarettes, mostly about these kind of things. NYPD has a bigger jurisdiction or involvement when it comes to crime, if I may say so.
So who
it's-
would have been the best person to contact then to find out if these
So
guys?
in this case, I'm gonna call sheriff's department, gonna get in contact with them, give all the information since they already exist as a tobacco store. And since it was that big thing done in conjunction with the assemblyman, I'm gonna get in contact directly with the chief of staff over there and find out more details. And if sheriff will be good enough, they can send some information and I'll forward it to all of you guys.
And it's also the person's name would actually be on both, the certain names would pop up. in The sheriff's office also pop up in the NYPD if they have multiple businesses. And if there's anything attached to their name, violations, penalties. So that's all. Like
Because
background
like
checks.
the gentleman mentioned that, some of things were reduced. That is a deal that is between the lawyer and whoever is in court, but that doesn't mean the crime hasn't occurred. There's a big difference.
Oh, but that would be wrong, right? If there was whatever it was that led to whatever was the final disposition is the only thing that we can rely upon. Because on the other hand, you can say, well, the prosecutor couldn't prove his case, so he was incentivized to give him a better deal. we can't make judgment just because someone is accused of a crime. We have to look at whatever it is that was the final disposition. If it was a dismissal, it was a dismissal. Whatever calculations were made to reach that dismissal, we can't speculate as to that.
Right. Speculation is a no-no.
Yes.
You can't even do it in court. I don't know why.
I guess in this entire process is I kind of fear a bit for some of the owners that are some entrepreneurs start going into this
Absolutely.
1000%.
as to whether they understand the legal regulations that they need to stay in compliance. I do feel like this is very rushed. And I don't even think that they truly understand the process themselves.
Absolutely.
So
That's
I
why
fear that for them a lot.
That's why I bring up, and I am personally, and again, I can only speak for myself, but like I had some time to reflect on what being a member of the Economic Development Committee means to me. And, and again, I said what I said about, our committee and stuff. And I say our committee because I've been here for a few months now. And we should be doing more to help these businesses navigate these waters of regulation and compliance. I know some people are going to be like, oh, you had a committee member, go ahead and ask this business how they could help them run a cannabis business. Well, I mean, isn't that what economic development is about? It's about helping these businesses, no matter what type of business they are, develop the economy of our community. So that's why I'm saying, like, when it comes to my line of questioning, I know that I've done my share of interrogations here, but like, I feel for businesses like this. They're dealing with two separate licenses, tobacco and their e-cigarette license. Yes, one of them was not like completely involved in the day-to-day and trusted somebody with handling the business, and then they ended up getting $1,000 per box, and multiply that by 15, 20, 30 businesses in our district. Our businesses are hurting. So, that's why I say, like, me personally, I don't want anybody to take it the wrong way. I'm no longer going to interrogate these businesses. I'm going to find out what we can do to help them and what we can do to make them better neighbors. For our community.
I think, Ed, what we're trying to do is balance those two things.
Due
Balance
diligence.
the, obviously we want these businesses to thrive, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But we're trying to balance that against, right, the interests of the community to be safe and the children to be, safe, et cetera, et cetera. So there's a balance in
No,
that.
of course. And I completely understand where you're coming from. I just see that the scale is like, one person over here and everybody over there for the community. Like, we need to care about these businesses. And not just for cannabis license, for liquor licenses, for bodegas, for delis, for clothing stores. Like when I drive down the street, these businesses are struggling. So like, again, I'm not saying it in the spirit of cannabis licenses. I'm saying it in the spirit of economic development. But I understand exactly where you're
I
coming
have
from.
to kind of also agree with that statement. Like, businesses are definitely struggling. It's so sad so I can give like a more young perspective. If I want to do something that I enjoy, I often have to go outside of the Bronx, outside of our neighborhood, outside of our district to find things of interest, like restaurants of interest, businesses of interest, even like stuff as simple as like finding like quality groceries, which half the time I go to a supermarket nearby, half of the things that are there actually, they have mold on them. So businesses are struggling. There's a balance between empowering a business and also making sure that they are a business that, has the purest of intentions for our community, and we need to balance those two things. But part of balancing that is also empowering them.
Right.
And I'm just trying to provide clarity on my position.
No, and I get that, and I agree. I mean, we can start doing, like I said, workshops or something else to, to engage the retailers and the other corporations to have them come in and help them, and I'm totally for that. But our job also, on top of that, is to make sure that this interrogation that you keep liking to say, it's more so that we get to know them, know what they're dealing with, and we can give them suggestions too.
But it can't be the only thing.
No, it can't. Like I said, I'm 100% with extending what this committee does.
Right.
And I'm open to ideas because I totally feel that, yeah, a lot of these, especially the mom and pop stores, need help.
Yeah.
And I'm totally for.
I mean, historically,
helping them.
if you ask yourself, has this committee done enough to help business development in this area? Like, can you answer that question, yes or no, to yourself?
Well, I'll tell you honestly, we haven't done much of anything but liquor license and so forth in here. One, because we usually get a lot of them, and that takes up the entirety of the meeting. But hey, I'm open to having longer meetings and having workshops, even workshops outside of the committee meetings.
Beautiful. Thank
Okay,
you.
so
I
it
wanted to
doesn't
hear that.
have to just be in the meeting. We could do other things outside of the committee meeting.
Amazing.
Okay, even if the committee meeting is just focusing on this, and then we do something outside of that. I'm totally open for that.
That's
as
the
long
type
as
of
the
initiative I like to see in a leader. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Now, because we have a time constraint, we have the full board starting at 8 o'clock. I'd like to start doing the gallery session if everybody's okay with that. Okay, yes, you did. I have you on the list. So I think you're the only one that actually registered, so.
Well, I'm here because
Go
it's
ahead.
7-Eleven Lidic, and I made 4 copies for anyone who wants to look at it, but I also sent by email. Sorry about that. It's on, if you don't mind
Yeah.
sharing, speaker password between the lawyer. If you don't mind sharing, but I did have the, perfect email with all the. board
Right,
members.
I was reading.
I want to state that in December's meeting, Adam,
I read it.
I won't mention his last name, mentioned that he had no relationship with neither the business, the owner of the business was owner of the property. But if you look at these documents, he's actually related to both the owner of the property and owner of the business. So the owner of the property is Mr. Hussein Obad, who actually owns 719 Lidic, which includes 7-Eleven Lidic. He owns those 4 storefronts, which includes what was the furniture store, but converted to mystery illegal cannabis shop. Second person he's related to the owner of the business, Mystery, which was in the intent to buy the business of Abdullah Obad, is also related to him. I send you screenshots of where they used to live. They live in the same address. Not only did he live with the owner of 719, the property owner of 719 Lidic, he also lived with the owner of the business, Mystery, who was also the furniture store, and they owned the house. And I sent a copy of the deed. So he lived in 2 different addresses. One that was shared by the owner of the property of 719 Associates, and one is the owner of the business, Mystery, doing business as Mystery, 7-Eleven Lidic. And he said at the December that I had no relationship with them. We have to be fair to this community, just to let OCN to do due compliance, because he said the counting error in OCN application. If you look online, which I put the number of OCN applications, it shows that Eric Tip is the CEO, not expedited, CEO of the business, Lidic Supermarket Incorporated, but he's also in the as the sole ownership. That is not correct because the partnership agreement that they submitted to community board. I mean, how much proof can I show unless I actually? I mean, this really shows that they've been illegally operating as they admitted at the board since July of last year, and they said that they were going to buy the property, but buy the business, but they are the business. I have sent, you can look at the screenshots. I mean, this is not against cannabis, it's not against the location, it's against rewarding bad behavior and letting them skip the line. Why they didn't do the right way and follow the process, but other people are waiting before they open a legal cannabis retail store. They're not buying and operating illegally and then say, we'll convert to legal because we skipped the line. So I'm asking this board again, please, to do the right thing and just send OC a letter of objection, because it seems, you don't have to say absolute. It seems that the applicant has been running an unlicensed operation since July. It's always to take a deeper look or closer look. And that's what I'm asking, please. If you have any question, I have all the answers because I've been doing this for 2 weeks to research.
So I'm sorry, I just want to understand the one point. So the existing business that is there now, the smoke shop, let's say, that business is selling cannabis products illegally.
Yes, they admitted they sell cannabis, edibles, everything that are legal, and they're selling products from California, not even New York State products, because.
And have they been cited by the authorities for selling illegal cannabis business?
Well, I'm not sure they've been cited, but they have not only do I know they've been operating illegally, and I have videos I sent to the staff, but also they also said that operation has been running unlicensed in July, but they're being as new applicants want to do the right thing and legalize it, but they didn't say that they were related to the business owners that are operating unlicensed.
The reason I'm asking is because I think the OCM regulations specifically prohibit, it's like death nail, if a business has been operating an illegal, right? But I don't know if that is based on common knowledge or based on actual like enforcement. Right, some kind of enforcement.
No, but I'm saying OCM's decision would have to be based on that.
Yeah, they made a decision.
No, but I understand your point. Your point is whether that is happening or is not happening, you want this board or this committee and the board eventually to send a letter to OCM to say, hey, look into these issues. You're saying that they are happening, but whether they are happening or not, you just want OCM to look into it, right?
Agree, and I have enough videos to send OCM, and I've done a lot of
Right.
work. I contact journalists, they look into it, but the point is that I don't want those, this board to rubber stamp it and then OCM her. Well, let's just ask the OCM to do a due diligence due to valid discrepancies, and even that they made I know they were not under oath, but he made a false statement that he had no relationship with the current property owner and the current business owner, but they all are live in the same premise. Two different locations. One is a house that they actually own in Hell Gardens. I don't want to disclose people's personal information, but I send it to you and you have screenshots.
Has 311 calls been made on OCM where you can submit?
I have been doing that.
So you have, okay, so there's documentation.
I am doing that.
Okay,
But
good.
I cannot twist the sheriff's arm because they have over 18,000 unlicensed
So
shops.
you've done that, you've done your due
And they're
diligence.
elected, what?
Is the relation confirmed or just
But
speculation?
you can look, you can look at screenshots.
But
No,
He's asking, has it been confirmed as actually?
yeah, or
and
it's the
not
same
just-
last name, because that goes.
No, but two different last names, two different individuals with the same last name. So the business owner.
That doesn't confirm.
Wait.
That's kind of
Address,
environmental.
not just name, address as well. So this person that you see here, he's the one that's listed in the intent to buy the
What's the
business.
website for that?
Huh?
What's
Where
the
do you get that
website?
information?
Yeah, what's
Yeah.
the website?
The source.
You can go up to I send you the links, that's why I sent to Chris Kirkup.
No, I looked at
Yeah,
the,
look
I
at
guess
this
that
email.
email didn't really have links in it that I could find.
In any event, right,
I did not make this up.
where do you,
This is in the business.
I don't want to say you made anything up, but where
This
do
is
you
in
get
the
that?
business directories.
Gotcha.
Google his name. In this, and I also send you his deed, which you get from the finance department. This is his deed, not even Google. In this deed, which is listed in the paperwork that they submitted, the intent to buy this business, Mystery, doing business as Mystery, he's listed as the owner. This is his address in the TIA. It's the same address that he is currently and listed as living as.
Okay.
And this is the property records of the property owner, 7-Eleven associate, and his name behind this.
I understand.
I mean,
Okay.
again, I'm not asking you to go all your way and say no. I'm asking you to object,
I know.
also to take a closer look at.
Closer look
There's
at.
too many,
I
like,
agree with,
it's not just the name. Delgado is a very common name. There's 1,000 in the phone book, but the state Delgado, same address, it raises flags.
I understand.
It's two different individuals related to the same person trying to apply for, and I didn't put this in the email, but they actually have applied for 8 other, applications from OCM, and 6 of them are unlicensed smoke shop, and I send that to certain individuals, but I didn't want to bring this to the board because it's not within the CB11 jurisdiction, it's outside CB11.
Other CDs.
Correct, citywide.
Okay, do we have any other questions for Ms. Delgado?
This is not, let me get it straight. When we do liquor and wine and beer license, I mean, we were doing it wrong all the time. We go and find egress and all these things we are not supposed to do because they said they have agency that do these things like EOB, housing, whatever is it. So we just stick to the World Liquor License Acts for, because we have an application we work with. Is that the same thing apply to OCM that we don't have to go through all of that, just see what OCM is doing?
If
I
you-
mean, if we gotta go through all this background and check all these things,
This is
that's
not
not,
even background, this is the actual documents he submitted to CBL.
Okay.
And secondly, he actually made a false statement which opened the door. If he had been honest like the prior
I
applicants.
remember when I was in the meeting here,
He
he
said he has
said
no relationship at all with them.
I think he mentioned that the guy have a business there, but he's not doing good, that they were gonna take over the business, then they will do that. We can't kill all these small.
No, it's not about killing anyone, it's that they made fraudulent statement and they have been running.
But in any
unlicensed-
event, you're not asking us to judge it. You're asking us to
Exactly.
send a letter to OCM inquiring about your concerns, right?
Yes. please.
That's not an issue.
That's reasonable.
That's reasonable.
Never.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
It's-
Or not,
and
right?
this
We
is-
can vote.
There's not a lot
Right,
of-
yeah.
Vote.
They have nothing to gain from this.
I get it.
On behalf of Pelham Parker, and Friends of Pelham Parker has been advocating for Pelham Parker for over 7 years, for no money, no grants, nothing. Many people in this community have been complaining all summer last year how they're actually smoking inside the shop. There's no ID at all. So I'm not trying to kill anybody. I'm trying to make sure our community is not a bad player, is not rewarded with a license that he does not deserve. And second, if he didn't follow the rules back then, what makes me think that he's going to follow the rules now?
I'll be honest with you guys, I've had passed by that store. I have smelled marijuana. So,
So let's do what
You
you
know.
said and just.
Somebody.
send
Well,
them.
we have a motion that currently to send a letter of no objection for this location. I can't vote. I can make a suggestion. At the full board meeting following this, that's coming up as one of the motions. If someone would like to make a motion to change that or to vote it
That
down,
motion was conditional upon them submitting some information.
they did.
Okay,
And did, right.
right. And then at the last.
Then we brought it back and we voted on it again and we voted no objection. So now it's up to the full board.
It's up to-
But if, I'm just saying, I have no dog in this fight. I'm recusing myself from this only because one of the owners, I think, is related to someone who's opening a store up on Allerton, and I am part of the Allerton International Merchants Association. So for that reason, I am recusing myself from this, but I will say, as chair, this motion is coming up. How the committee would like to handle it is up to them. But, you know, think about it, because it's coming up in about 13 minutes or so. So for you guys, that's something that you guys can make a decision on how you want to handle that motion.
So
The motion remains the same. I'm just gonna add on your OCM look. your
Add
deeper
on?
look.
Well, currently the motion
No objection.
is
The
to
motion
send a letter of no objection.
so
to
does
the
that mean that we
OTM.
have to
Provided that.
make a motion to retract that motion and revise it?
Well, you would have to, I think you'd have to vote it down.
Vote the motion that we made down.
Yes, and then you can restate another motion.
because that motion is not on the agenda, so we can.
Wait, so,
It was passed last December.
right, it was passed
So-
last
No,
December.
I know that.
But it's not on the new
It's on the
agenda.
new agenda.
It's already live.
No, what I'm saying is whatever motion that we would do right here won't be on the new agenda.
But how can we get it?
You have to vote that one down.
The old motion should have been on the
So
agenda
that's
for
on the
the full
agenda.
board.
Right.
It's on the agenda?
If you want to change it, we'll have to vote that one down. And then.
I guess my question is, how can we frame this so
Yeah,
that we
that-
take care of it tonight?
Done did it tonight, yeah.
Yeah, I can't suggest the language for it because I'm confusing myself.
Oh, okay, so
That's
then,
something that you guys would have
so
to.
then how can,
What do we want to do with that?
one,
Guys,
how can
running
we
out of
frame
time.
In our own meeting.
I know, sorry. So we have to go ahead and vote on this in the full board meeting, but we already issued a motion on this.
Right, so
We have to
mean,
vote it down,
right.
right? And then reissue
Yeah.
another motion. Am I
Yes.
correct on that?
So then basically it'd be like, I make a motion that we withdraw the previous motion,
Yeah,
basically.
exactly.
So we need the wording for that as
But
well.
we need to get one
That's a
report
sim-
back on it.
I make a motion that we withdraw the motion for 7-Eleven Lighting Avenue, and then,
We gotta.
and then, you know, it's seconded, voted on, whatever, if it goes through, then somebody else makes another motion for the new
To-
motion. To,
Bring the new motion?
yeah,
I guess the motion.
Now-
going on.
No, that's why I'm trying to get it right.
Before we can actually make any motions, we have to finish the gallery session.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
So keep that all in mind, okay? Is there anyone else that, from the gallery that would like to speak? Go for it, Bob.
Okay, now, I've been in contact with the councilwoman, who corrected me and said that she's going into 1925 Williamsburg Road. And when I said to her, next to you will be a cannabis store, dispensary, she says, it's not, the landlord told me, no. And she's been trying to get online, and unfortunately, she hasn't been able to because, you're going into the next meeting, so whoever's in charge is not letting her in. Now, I can call her if you want, and she can speak through my phone.
I think
Okay,
it's because the next meeting hasn't started yet,
yeah, because,
because we're still just.
right, obviously, she's not being able to get into this meeting. I told her to go to the economic development meeting, so, as I said, she said that the landlord says it's not. That, 1927 is not being rented to this, cannabis dispensary.
I feel like that's not a real problem for us, because here's why I feel that way, because if they can't get the lease, right, then they can't open the shop.
Right.
So if the landlord is saying no, then that's one less thing we have to worry about,
And that's,
right?
and.
That's one less shop we have to worry about.
And
Yeah,
that'll,
you
that'll.
still have-
be-
So instead,
Right.
if she can't get in, she's gonna send,
Alright.
an email to the office tomorrow.
Okay.
But hold on. You're rushing into making a conclusion, guys. that is a very big thing when it comes about signing a lease.
Yeah.
Because what's the point of you voting for approving or disapproving if a lease is not made? Let's suppose for this moment you approve and the lease is not signed. Then what is the value of this board?
Well, but it's, yes, I agree with you, the vote will be moot, but, you know, I guess.
Then it loses the importance of the board. Guys, gotta look into things more differently. Even when it comes to about passing motions, I told you since the last time, it was a mistake putting a motion with conditional, they provide information. Because from their side, legally, once they provide information, either you like it or not, that was the condition. So you had to approve it for whatever they have to provide. So you gotta be careful on that matter.
I don't think our vote has to be conditional upon them getting a lease.
But that's what you put
That
it.
becomes their problem.
With
If they don't
OCM.
get a lease, ACM is not going to give them the license.
That's what we
Yeah,
said.
but you know, you guys have to make a motion on that matter.
I mean, I think the motion can stay as is,
Have to
right?
have the lease.
Whatever.
But we haven't made a motion yet on
I'm
it.
saying like whatever the motion is, right? Like,
Right.
at the end of the day, like just because you say you have a lease, OCM finds out that you don't, are you gonna go trespass into another
Right.
property to like give yourself a business? Like that's just not gonna happen.
Right, and the other thing is, we don't, whether or not they send us
on there.
the lease, they're
She's
not
on there.
required
Yes.
to
Yeah.
send us, yeah, she's right there. When, they're not required to send us a copy of their lease, so I don't think we can really say we're not gonna do it if they don't send us a copy of the lease. They're not required to provide us that. We asked them simply if they would be willing to provide us
Same
a
thing with
copy of
Nicholas.
it.
And also,
Yeah, but Veronica, everything is based on the word of honor in this matter. That's what we're
Yes.
voting, because like you say, we are advisory board, right? So
And, yeah.
based on that, we ask if they can provide the lease, which in kind of way, it's kind of settles down the business between these people trying to open a retail store and the landlord, because landlord in certain way responds to whatever the community around it is.
and let's remember that the private homeowners, private landlords are private, right? They don't have, they're not legally obligated to tell you real information on what they're doing with their properties. So they can tell you anything. So there's no way that we can fully be able to prove that unless something is on paper. So even just going in there and asking a landlord, are you thinking of doing this or that? You won't really get a truthful answer.
Right. And the thing also is, we have a deadline for this particular location that's about to expire, even with the extension. So we either make a motion on this today, or we miss the deadline again. And I'd rather not miss the deadline on it. But we do have council member Chrissy Marmorato joining us, so I'd like to give her a chance to speak, if you don't mind. Sorry, guys.
No, it's okay.
Welcome, Chrissy.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Happy New Year, everybody. Sorry, I'm jumping on late to this. I've actually been in contact with the landlord at 1927. He's trying to jump on if you need to ask him any questions to rectify the situation. He never agreed to lease the property to the gentleman that was applying for the dispensary license.
Okay, so as far as you're aware from the landlord, there is no signed lease.
There's nothing. No, I don't know if he's on yet. He was trying, but he's on. Eric is on. Eric Bell.
Hi, how are you?
That's Eric. That's the landlord.
Yeah, I'm trying to get my picture on. I've never used WebEx. I'm sorry. I'm a Zoom guy. But yeah, I'm listening. I see you. And no, I did not sign any lease. Somebody sent me a lease, their lease. And, we said no. I mean, I didn't sign anything. We're not doing that.
Okay, only because we had an applicant in here earlier who said yes, signed a lease with you.
And he's gonna give us.
For that location, not with you specifically, but for that location. And he
Well,
was gonna send us a copy of the lease.
Yeah, I mean, I owned it. I didn't sign it. And I spoke to my partner and he didn't sign it. So I don't know. I mean, I know that I saw a lease that somebody created and wanted the space, but we said no. So there's no signed lease.
Okay, thank you for that. We appreciate you providing that information to us.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Christy, for contacting him. We appreciate it very much, and welcome. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so
Is that me?
yeah, that's it. Thank you. Appreciate
Okay.
it.
Have a nice evening. Happy New Year.
So,
Thank you.
we have one hand up, Miguel Dyer.
Hi, I just wanted to say that it seems like there's a lot of speculation and conjecture here with regards to 7-Eleven Leidig. And I just want to point out that, correlation does not imply causation. And so before you make any, any judgments on what, whether the applicant is being honest or not, we kind of have to take him for his word. And I just don't, I would hate to see his, his application delayed further because of unsubstantiated evidence. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, is there anybody else? Because we need to make our motions prior to the next meeting starting in 3 minutes. So is there anything else? Okay. So, due to time restraints, let's try and bunch the liquor licenses together. I don't think there's any issues with those. So, can I get a motion?
I move to approve the liquor licenses for Lynn H's Cuisine, and the Liberty Diner.
Okay, so we have a motion by Malcolm to
second it.
send a letter of no objection for those two locations, Lynn's Asian Cuisine and Liberty Diner, seconded by Purdom. Do we have all those in favor say aye? Any objections? Any abstentions? Abstention? Okay, we have one abstention. Motion passes with one abstention.
Next one.
The next one is,
I could do AM, that might be easier.
Go ahead.
I move to table the cannabis license application for AM Convenience.
I second it.
Yeah.
Oh, seconded.
seconded by Ed. He was first.
Yeah, he just like-
Okay, so we have a motion on the floor to table AM conveniences. Do we have any, first of all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any objections? Any abstentions?
No
Okay.
discussion?
Yeah, we did all of this.
Yeah. Okay, that passes unanimously, okay? And the next one is Purple Cake. Do we have a motion for Purple Cake?
What y'all wanna do?
Table it.
I move to table the application.
The
for-
issue with Purple Cake is again the deadline.
Uh,
So if we decide later on to send a letter of no objection, it's just gonna be a paper that's being sent to the OCM because we'll have missed the deadline for it. Our extension is until the 16th of this month.
right.
So I just want to put that out there, whatever, the the committee decides to do is fine with me, but just remember, our deadline or our extension deadline is the 16th of this month.
Well, we can still have no objection because they're gonna, OCM gonna look up the lease, whatever is it now.
They're gonna do their job.
They're gonna, OCM have to do their job.
You guys trust.
Even if OCM, say hypothetically, misses the whole lease thing, hypothetically, without, actual consent from the owner, how are you gonna operate the business? And the license is tied to the address
So we
anyway.
give it- So let's set another no objection and let the landlord is gonna.
Just one other thing. I don't know if OCM will pass a decision just because of the address. It might pass a decision probably to open retail store. So I don't know. We gotta. I don't know.
Right, but.
So basically,
Store
putting aside the issue of,
Right.
of the lease.
That's true.
Well, let's put aside the issue of the lease. Anything else that the applicant said or advised us of, that should be what we should be making the
Well,
motion on.
I guess the only concern then would have to be that he said he had a signed lease, and if the landlord says he didn't have a signed lease.
Right.
I mean, aside from
That-
That's the OCM and them.
aside from the lease, we
Pretty
should make
big.
objection.
Well, but it's a credibility, I think it's a
Credibility,
credibility
yeah.
issue.
Right.
I think
I mean-
that's where they're going with the whole lease.
This is why would you
versus-
lie about something
Yeah,
like that?
Right.
Yeah.
That's so easily
yeah.
verifiable.
Right, so it's, put aside whether or not he actually signed the lease, but the fact that we're being told that he hasn't signed the lease yet, and he told us that he did,
Right.
that could factor into,
Right, with all
decision.
due respect, right, like our first interaction with the new council member is on our economic development committee for a liquor license. Like this is
for a cannabis license.
cannabis license, this is what we're basing it on.
No,
No,
no.
we're basing it on the owner of the location telling us that he has signed a.
He's
That
here
he's-
to the owner of the building.
Right, he represented, the gentleman represented from Blue Cake, represented that he had a sign lease.
Then again,
The landlord,
we didn't see him. That's
What?
also an issue.
That is also.
so you think that someone got a
I mean, it's.
Come on.
real dedication?
Oh, come on.
The
I mean, no,
Okay,
like,
okay, sorry, I rephrased.
Right.
Purported to be the landlord,
right,
got on the WebEx,
Right.
said that he did not sign any leases with anyone.
right.
He acknowledged receiving a lease, but he said that neither him nor his partner signed
I
it.
mean, we could do a trick motion. We could say we will give a level of
I
objection
don't know,
if
would you
they
believe?
provide a
These
lease.
conditions don't
Well,
work
that's
for
what we
us.
told him. We're gonna send it.
No, yeah, but I mean, you could also go and talk to go physically to the property and talk to the landlord himself in that time.
Brian, things like Angel?
I don't know. It's just a very touchy issue.
So,
Who's the lease?
Yeah.
Yeah, just send it into Chris.
I mean, what if that's,
So
But now he
it
said
all
something
depends on
about some
timing.
fake
we
lease.
gotta do it today then.
If we don't do it today, we kind of miss
Yes,
out.
right,
I
right.
thought you were the lease.
We need to,
I mean, no matter what, it goes to OCN.
it's time for
Right.
Yeah, we get.
technically only the committee, but it's your board members, so I just want to move it along because our full board meeting
Right, we-
started 2 minutes ago technically, so.
I feel like aside from the
Wait,
lease.
here, I have an idea. Why don't we table it? Maybe
No, we-
Chris,
Well, we can't.
wait, hold on. Table it at the committee level. Chris can contact Mr. Espinal. He can send us the lease. And then if we have the lease before the vote comes on for the full board, then we consider it at that point.
I don't know if we can.
I know, but the board meeting is not gonna be.
The vote to the.
I mean, technically, we could make the motion now, and then that gives Chris some time to make the call. And if we get the call and that motion is live, we just vote it in full board. Yes or
So,
no?
gentlemen, I mean, ladies and gentlemen, so you don't trust even the councilwoman that brought also?
Not a trust issue.
It's not a trust
It's a
issue.
fair
It's
shake.
just unfortunate she had to waste her time today for this.
Yeah, it's just that if I'm at work, right? At work, if a business comes to me and they say that I signed this thing, but I didn't physically see this person, like I'm gonna look at it too and be like, that's kind of iffy. So you really do have to have that eye. You have to see the person. I'm sorry. You need to have some type of communication with them outside of that. That could be any.
And Malcolm is right.
That could be anybody, and that is a liability issue.
Because also, like, there's also an equal liability issue of like creating a fake lease also. That's a huge,
Yeah.
like, legal issue that like is a civil penalty.
Right.
Well, according to the gentleman who says he owned the property, he was provided a lease from the applicant that the applicant drew up. And he denied, he said he wasn't gonna sign it, that he didn't give the.
So,
lease. So maybe the confusion is with the applicant.
Correct.
Who thinks that because he sent the lease to them,
That's possible.
that he automatically thinks he's getting it approved.
And he is using an expediter.
That sounds right.
So, what if the expediter told him one thing and then he's,
I know, but we're all speculating. If we had whatever we have from the applicant, then we can make a
Speculation.
decision based on some concrete evidence, right?
Another thing to reconsider is that this applicant was actually asked to come to our meeting
And he-
last month and never showed up. So that's why we're at this deadline.
So let's make a
because we
motion.
got an
to get it.
extension because he never showed up at our last meeting. And now he's showing up here. So that's
So-
just something extra information for you guys.
If
That's all it is.
we denied it, then would you guys care? Like,
yeah, is that what you guys want? Like, do you guys want to deny it? You want to approve it? Like, how do we
No,
move
I
forward
wanna
from
know.
there?
I wanted to let it go, but it's just that he said he got a lease, and he said like we vote for it.
Mhm.
And let Chris call and see, or fax something over or something.
if it's enough time.
And when the full board considers the issue, if
Which
there's
is
no
today,
lease,
any
then we'll give full weight and credit to,
You know,
I mean,
I don't like
to the information that we have.
All right, we gotta make a decision on this because we gotta go. We gotta get into the full board meeting. So once the committee.
Go ahead, make a motion.
All right, so I just make a motion. Make a motion to send a letter of no objection for Purple Cake.
Somebody second, I second it.
A letter of no objection?
Yeah,
Because this is not gonna help Bernadette.
Chris. If Chris can make the call to them now, then they can send it.
Correct, yeah.
That would be the only saving grace. If not, we just vote it down at full board.
And we, again, we're getting a second shot at this when the full board, right? So
Right.
Chris can still contact the
exactly
Purple
what we
Cake
did.
guy.
Pretty much.
That's
The
exactly.
full board decides for tonight, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, so we need to,
So
we need,
how
we
much
actually-
time do I have?
30 minutes. 4 minutes. Call him right now.
We'll leave, Chris, we'll leave that one to the end.
All right, so are we voting on the motion?
Oh, do we have a second?
I have
We
second.
Yeah, it was second.
Seconded, okay, so Ferdinand seconded. Do we have,
All in favor?
all in favor, say aye?
Aye.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry, you asked about abstentions.
What happened?
You asked.
Not abstentions yet.
Oh,
We're on.
I'm sorry, I heard like two conversations. at the same
Yeah,
time.
so we have approvals. Any objections?
I object.
Okay, we have one objection. And do we have any abstentions?
Me.
Two. Oh, how many?
You're not
Just two.
Not part of it. Okay. One abstention. Okay,
It
Wait,
was two abstentions.
two abstentions.
Abstentions.
Just two.
two abstentions?
Yes.
Oh, Ed two, okay, thank you, I didn't see Ed, thank you.
Okay.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, how many do we have? 1, 2, 3.
I'm not a voting
4,
member,
5,
remember.
How many ayes
7,
again?
8.
Yes, yeah, you.
It seems like 3 ayes, right? 4 ayes.
Once you get 8, you can ask.
Yeah, so it passes with one objection and 2 abstentions. Okay,
7, 11, 18.
Wow.
all right, now, the last one is 7-Eleven. Again, I'm recusing myself from this. It's up to the board, but if we could just, the committee, if we could just handle this really quickly. So how do you
You
guys?
said there's a
wanna do it?
motion there already, so we have to vote.
Right now, there's a motion, to send a letter of no
we do it as-
objection.
And that's the one that we need, that we were talking about potentially making a motion of withdrawing that previous motion and then creating a new motion.
So we vote that one down and then create the new
So,
motion. But
basically-
you can't make the motion.
So I
But
would
that
like to
motion
make a
was already
motion
made,
to
right?
vote down our previous motion to send a letter of no
withdraw?
objection.
To
No,
withdraw.
Withdraw
You just,
the
you
letter.
just, you just go through the first motion, vote it down, and then.
You kill the first motion.
Yeah.
Right, so isn't that what I'm trying, that's what I'm
No,
trying to.
you're trying
No,
to,
that would be a.
So that was-
No. I'm trying to.
no, you're trying to make a motion to undo a motion.
Right.
You just go into the motion, vote it down.
No, we have to make a motion to withdraw that motion
Do you
because
have
it's
to?
before the full.
That's what
yeah.
I'm saying.
Jeremy, hold on, guys, hold on. Jeremy, are you on?
So we have to make a motion to withdraw.
So we want to change our motion for 7-Eleven Lighting. The committee would like to. There's a motion being voted on in the full board. Do we need to to withdraw that motion in committee, or can that all be taken care of and a new motion made in the full board?
I mean, why don't you do it now? Get it over with. Withdraw it, and then just, it's moot when it comes to the full board. I mean, as long as the committee agrees, I mean, you want to vote to withdraw it, vote to withdraw it.
Okay.
Oh,
So
wait,
make a
don't-
motion.
don't
I
we
want
want-
to make a motion to withdraw the letter of no objection for 7-Eleven lighting.
Alright, second.
Someone second.
And who's gonna second it? Mary?
Second one.
That's fine.
Okay, and any discussion on this?
No.
I think we discussed it, okay.
So we're not,
I am, for the record, recusing myself, and my vote will now count on this. So for the committee, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Objections? Abstentions? Abstention?
Yeah.
One abstention. Motion passes with one abstention.
I have one question now.
Joanne,
Joanne voted
yes, she voted.
to withdraw.
Yeah.
So are we now going
Making
to
a new
send a
motion.
letter of objection?
Put a new motion.
That's.
All right,
that's
so I move to send a letter of objection.
Of objection.
A
Yeah.
letter of objection
Okay.
for
Alright.
7-Eleven lighting.
7-Eleven light.
For second.
That would be opposition or?
Okay,
Yeah.
letter of objection. Okay. Again, recusing myself on this one. Do we have a second, though?
Second.
Malcolm. Juan, you made the,
Yeah, I made it.
okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any objections? Any abstentions? One abstention, two abstentions, motion passes. Okay, in the interest of time, we're 10 minutes behind schedule. Is there any other old business besides 7-Eleven lighting? No? Okay,
Please no.
I make motion.
New business, hold on, I have new business, guys.
Okay, Chris, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I received the liquor license renewal. No, actually it's new completely for the third time. La Casa del Mofongo. And you guys know very well the situation. They sent in a new application and temporary retail permit,
We did.
which I still don't understand why they're coming for a third time.
Guys, come on. listen to what Chris is saying.
That is
Go
in
ahead.
Gun Hill Road. You guys spoke about it. Is in the area what used to be TJIF. Remember the first time they didn't show up? I called them. They showed up a second time. You heard from them. Again, they're applying for a new liquor license for the third time. I don't know what else to say.
Okay, I guess put them on for the February meeting and if they show up or not.
Can I
They
ask
showed
why
up.
we
I mean,
killed
I
that?
don't know why they reapplying 3 times.
They didn't show up, that was it?
I asked twice, they didn't show up.
So, I mean, but we're an advisory role and people aren't required to show up, right? So like, even if they don't show up,
Right,
we're
like
killing it
most of
just
the
because they
time-
don't show up?
Because we don't have any information.
We had
One way or
nothing,
another.
really no information. These are the
It's their
new
time.
ones, we prefer them to show up. Renewals, they don't need to show up because we already know the business and we can find out if there's any issues with those businesses in the past. But the newer ones, we ask them to show up so that we can get to know them and we can ask questions because basically we would be making.
Even if
a-
they had another location somewhere else, you'd still want them to come in, right?
If it's not in CB11,
Okay,
yeah.
understood, thank you.
They showed up only once.
But
The
even-
first time they didn't show up, they showed up on second time. And I don't understand why they just keep postponing that and putting again for a new liquor license.
Village, the business hasn't opened yet in the chat.
Yeah, the business hasn't opened yet. The business isn't in production just yet. All right, anything else? Okay, we'll add that, Casa de Mofongo, we'll add that to the next
Sure.
agenda. And now I make a motion for the committee to adjourn,
Second.
seconded by Ed. All in favor? All right, thank you everyone for joining us. See
Meeting
you on
ended at
Tuesday.
8:13.
Meeting ends 8:13. Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you, everyone, and see you in a couple minutes.